Welcome everyone to another episode of Starmade. Ooh guys, something catastrophic happened when I came back from our nostalgic pirate hunt. I found our mothership kind of phased out. From the looks of it, it actually got caught in the gravity of our planet. I'm not exactly sure what happened, but it kind of fell down to the planet, and sometimes when I enter it I get horribly low FPS rate. Sometimes it also works. So what I think we probably have to do is to actually lift the mothership back into orbit. Therefore we're gonna have to install a bunch of thrusters, and I fear the current mass the mothership has, there's gonna be a whole lot of thrusters we have to apply. One more thing that I wanted to let you know, because I found this so useful. In the comment section you pointed out that you can actually go towards a spaceship and hit the space key in order to align yourself with said ship. Oh my gosh, I wish I knew this earlier. Whenever I tried to freaking get through a door while not perfectly aligned with the ship, it was just horrible. But nevertheless, let's enter the ship core. We're gonna go into build mode and hopefully everything will be working. Yeah, we do have a slightly lower FPS in the build mode, but it isn't as bad as I experienced it when starting up the game. I was like at 2 FPS for over a minute. But nevertheless, we should think about where we want to add those hyperflux coil thrusters. I preferably don't want to place them only temporarily, even though we could actually accomplish this rather quickly. All we would have to do is maybe build something with the dimensions of 20 to 50, or let's go with 21 to 49 so that we can have kind of a center, and if we place those down, we got rid of all of them. Yeah, I'm glad. So we have a whole lot of thrusters placed. What I want to test with that is basically if 1000 thrusters will be enough in order to lift this object up. So let's kind of zoom out a little bit. Oh no, we have the FPS problem. You can see that? 2 FPS. Why would you do that to me? And how can I avoid it? Oh geez. Okay, back in build mode. FPS is not getting better. Oh guys, that's really bad, I have to say. Let's get out of the ship and let's see if that fixes my issue. Don't do this to me. Okay, FPS is good again. Let's try again. Get inside of it, into flight mode, and as soon as I am in flight mode, something weird happens. Well guys, I'm kind of screwed. I cannot fly this thing away with only 2 FPS. So we will have to potentially do something else in order to fix this problem. But why the heck does this happen? I swear it must be because I am too close to the planet with the mothership. I'm pretty sure that's the reason. Horrible situation. So yeah, you can see in build mode, everything seems to be fine. We are running smoothly, more or less, and then we switch to flight mode. I don't do anything just yet. We stay at 60 FPS. So now I try to go upwards. There we go. The drop happened. So as soon as I press E in order to move the ship upwards, something terrible happens. We did have some speed, right? So maybe I'm already further away. Let's just exit the ship briefly and check its position. Okay, so something definitely happened. Or is it just my imagination? Is it just my wishful thinking? I have no freaking idea. Let's get inside again, and this time in flight mode we're gonna try to rotate a little bit. No, that also results in a way lower FPS. So let's just press E a little bit until we get out of this misery, and then we're just gonna park the mothership a little bit further away from the planet so that the two objects don't mess with each other anymore. If that is even the problem. Maybe the mothership itself is a problem, but I wouldn't appreciate that. Not at all. Let's get outside again and just kind of check the momentum, and hopefully we will be back at 60 FPS in just a second. Okay, at least right now we are not as close to the planet anymore, which is good, but my game isn't relaxing anymore. I cannot escape the FPS slowness. If I had a computer which was really bad and this was like kind of the normal thing. Oh, we're back at 60 FPS. Oh, so much better. Oh, look at the smoothness. Oh, brilliant. Okay, we are quite further away from the planet, in my opinion. We're gonna try to take one more trip. Oh! There we go! I think it happened! Look at this! We are back to 60 FPS. I can even now zoom out a little bit and check my position in relation to the planet. So we can kind of rotate around and make sure that we are aligned a little bit better. So yeah, it was definitely the distance to the planet which screwed up the FPS. So I'm glad this was the case, because now we can take care of more important things again. Well guys, it's time to implement some new stuff on the mothership. Today I don't want to build so much as actually providing a technical functionality, if you can say so. What we're gonna do today is install a bunch of doors. This is what I had in my storage. Hopefully it's gonna be enough in order to actually seal off the hangar. And since we cannot push any blocks, I hope to achieve an effect through logic so that it appears as if the door is opening and closing like a huge hangar door. That would be freaking awesome. I am almost certain that we do not have enough doors, but we're just gonna make the best out of it, and after that we might want to visit the shop. Because of course we want the same thing to apply to the other side, so I set the symmetry mode. So let's see, where do we want to start placing them? I believe maybe around here. So it's almost in the center of this strip. So let's place them. Yeah, it used up all of my doors immediately. Oh man, we're gonna need a lot more. Now there's another thing I'm really scared about, and that is to actually, you know, kind of select these guys. Because I don't want to select each one individually, that would be horrible. Because I don't think it is possible to just press V and go along. Maybe it is possible. We will have to try it out. Oh man, I left everything on the planet. So let me make a quick trip to the planet. I'm gonna grab all my materials, which I'm gonna need. And after I've decided how we actually want to do this, if we want to make such a big door, how we can select them, I'll be right back. Okay guys, now thinking about this a little bit, I figured out that it might actually be a lot easier than I first anticipated. We're gonna first attempt it on a smaller scale before we actually apply it to this huge hangar door. I just want to see if it works in a fashion I'm satisfied with. Now since we have built a convenient engine room down here we can build basically everything we want. This is not gonna be visible, this is gonna be sealed off, so this is perfect to add some logic. So before we start, there's one thing I want to test, and that is whether or not a delay block is able to send a signal into either direction. So let's actually test this out. I'm gonna place a bunch right here. We are gonna connect this up with that guy and also connect this up with this one. And we're gonna do the same thing vice versa. Is that actually possible? So yeah, from the looks of it, it is. That worked, and this worked. So that is great, that is good to know. We only have to place them once for both directions. So let's start right here at the first row. We're gonna place an activation module and we're gonna select it right away before we place the delay signal below it. Then we're gonna select the delay signal and place an activation module again, so it is automatically connected to it. We're gonna do the same thing over and over again until we have reached the end of our door, or however far we want to go. And after doing this for a minute or two, and after you get the hang of it, it's not too bad. Okay, so now that we have a bunch of those modules, let's actually go for a test run. We first have to connect them up, and I hope I can kind of paint them to connect them up. Oh no, it's not possible. I know it is in some way possible to select a whole group, so each block that is the same connected to the one that you're facing. That would mean we have to add one row of plex doors and then we can select them all at once. That would probably be the best thing to do once we have, you know, to go for such a huge door. But for the time being we can also just select them by hand, because it's not such a large door just yet. Okay, there we go. Each of the modules is connected up, at least up to here, and we should be able to open up the door by sending a signal this way. Okay, that of course was wishful thinking. First of all, we have to make sure that all the modules are also connected up vice versa. So we have to select each of those guys and we have to reconstruct the route. The signal would have to go backwards. And this seems like a finicky work. A lot could go wrong. And there we go. We are done. That should be it, right? So let's deselect that, and we're actually going to activate this module. What happens? Nothing happens, probably because if the activation blocks get activated, the doors are visible. At least that's what I hope. Let's do it again. Oh yes, it's opening up! Oh man. It's a little bit slow, but actually I think it's alright. Oh man, that is amazing. I guess tons of people have come up with that, but I'm still fascinated whenever something just goes that easily. Let's activate it and see the door shut. Oh yeah. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, that's actually what I'm gonna do for the whole freaking hangar door. I don't care how many squares I will have to select, and we'll probably have to do it for the other side as well, because I had the experience that things connect up over the whole ship if we have the symmetry mode activated, so that is not a good idea. We'll have to do it for each door individually. But at least we know the concept is working, so I'll be working on that and hopefully have it ready in a future episode. Because there's one more thing I want to do, and that is actually on the planet. So let's get back there. Alright guys, we are actually now on a different segment. One thing I delayed for such a long time, and I don't know really why, is the preparations for what I want to do with this planet. You know, the second long-term project next to the mothership. And today we're going to remove one more segment at least. The reason I delayed this for such a long time is because it takes quite a while to remove them. Now I know we do have a remove mode of 50 by 50 by 50, so that is kind of huge. But once you have removed a few things, you will have to wait for a very long time. I'm just gonna show you how ridiculously nice that actually looks. So we're gonna start by just taking apart this hill. Everything needs to go anyway, so I'm gonna click a bunch of times, and now look at my hotbar down below. It's just crazy, and now even if I stop, it will continue on and on and on and on and on. So if I attempt to remove stuff with an even bigger brush, it would just take me as long. The first time I actually didn't realize this happens, and I removed the whole segment in one go as fast as possible, and I had to leave my computer running for about an additional half an hour or so before the numbers actually stopped. You see, it's still going just from that first session. It's crazy. So that's one of the reasons I delayed the removing of the segments for a little bit. And of course, during recording, this is a really bad idea. I'm not gonna get good frames for obvious reasons. So definitely not blaming the game for this one. It's just one of the things we will have to do in order to shape this planet in the way and form we want to. So while we are removing a little bit and waiting for the numbers to rise in our hotbar, I can tell you a little something about the plans I have going for this planet. So after we have removed all the segments and built grass layers on them, they will be ready to build stuff on, but one of the segments I want to leave free so that you can actually see the lava, and I want to build something so that it kind of looks like a thruster drive, but more in a natural sense. So you can think of it as maybe the tail of a comet. Almost looks like a thrust, but it is actually, you know, just the tail from melting ice. I believe it is melting ice. That's also always the reason why the tail is facing away from the sun. So I believe I'm right in that, but I also believe that you guys actually have a technical term for the tail, so that's maybe a word I want to learn, and you guys could let me know in the comment section. Sorry for the bad pun there. I don't know, it's just going crazy. I think I'm gonna stop recording for a little bit. That is slowing down the process even more, and I'll be right back once I have finished removing at least one of the segments. Well guys, what can I say? It's not gonna stop. It's literally 27 minutes later. I did my washing, I ate something, I edited the last segment of the video, and it's still going. So what can we do? So at this point I say we wrap up the episode. I'm gonna finish off clearing the segments hopefully for the next time. This is actually something you can easily do. You just have to have the time to let the computer running and do its thing. But nevertheless, I hope you enjoyed the episode. Thank you very, very much for watching. Have a great time, and hopefully I'm gonna catch you in the next one. Bye bye.